Good morning and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do me a massive favor. Please hit the like button, hit the share button as well. We're here to talk Jadon Sancho again, and this is about formulating your opinion. A little bit of a serious note to the beginning of today's show. I just want to gauge opinion. Now, I know everybody's going to have a different thought. Everybody's going to have a different feeling. Everybody's going to think, I think this, I think that, rare. And everyone's entitled to think about things differently. But I wake up this morning and I tweeted and DM'd, and there are stories today that Man United remain highly confident the deal's done. It's 90% over the line. There's a report I read that, Ollie has been instrumental in getting the player. Sancho wants to be part of his setup, wants to be part of his team, has enjoyed his conversations with Ollie. And then you read another report. This is from the People's Person that claims that Man United are ready to give up on Jadon Sancho. They're going to finally admit defeat in their bid, and they're eyeing up 3 alternative players. And I can't help. I often don't like to be. I don't like to be a pessimist about anything in life. That really isn't my kind of way. But I do find the headlines this morning so interesting in the sense of they're so different from one another. The contrast it's so interesting. And, as I see in some of the comments here, the comments aren't coming through on my live stream. I've actually had to go on directly to the stream here on Twitter. And it's like some people saying it's a brief, and you could be absolutely right. And like I've said, I'm open-minded. My personal opinion is this deal is still going to happen. I think there's an outside confidence it could go through before the beginning of Man United's Premier League campaign. But it's just an interesting story today that United are ready to give up on the deal. I'll read you a bit more of it. It says the exciting 20-year-old has been United's top priority all summer, but his current club, Borussia Dortmund, are unwilling to negotiate below 120 million euros. He said, now, according to claims, Man United are considering to pull the plug on their bid to land the English superstar. And this is where it becomes briefing level. So I totally get where you're coming from. It says that United executive vice chairman Ed Woodward believed Dortmund are determined to hold the club to ransom, and the German outfit have been inconsistent in their attitude towards selling Jadon Sancho. But United's success in signing Holland international Donny van der Beek in a £35 million deal has reiterated his belief that Sancho is not worth what Dortmund claim he is. And it just goes on to talk in those kind of terms. And I think as one of those earlier comments said there, that it's a brief. My personal opinion. So I'm asking for yours. I'll give you mine. I'm still 90% sure it's going to go through. The fact that I'm 90, not even 95% sure that there is still an outside chance this deal doesn't happen because that's life. But I do remember these said reports in January in the build-up to Bruno Fernandes. I remember United aren't even looking at him. I remember reading that we're going to pull the plug. I remember reading that the Glazers are not backing the deal. It's been fairly consistent to see Manchester United distance themselves with these signings, even when you look at the Donny van der Beek situation, which was very much done under cloak and dagger. That was doable primarily because of our relationship with Edwin van der Sar. But remember the tweets from the Simon Peaches and Simon Stones of this world on that Saturday evening that we were live, and they very much centered around. There's not much going on. There's been no bid, but it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that the deal could happen. They were so. They were very, for me, they were unsupportive of the rumor, but it made that there's an air of possibility about it. Made you think it was true. I just feel that Man United, in my opinion, in this story this morning, this is Manchester United sending out a brief through one way, shape, or form to try and. I think James Cooper said something similar yesterday as well. Who's very close to the club. I think this is an echo of what we saw from Borussia Dortmund 24 hours ago, where their main media the outlet said something along the lines of, he's part of our plans. We're not going to sell him. We're not going to yield. No deal's going to be done. Man United in the other end are saying we're going to pull the plug. Both football clubs, in my opinion, are still, and I think it's a little bit pathetic, if I'm being honest, to this degree, But I think both football clubs are trying to win the PR battle. That's all this comes down to. Sancho wants to join. Sancho has agreed personal terms. His agent has agreed fees in terms with Manchester United. They wouldn't. These conversations wouldn't be happening if United were ready to pull the plug and if Dortmund had no willingness at all to sell at this point. And the agent, forget whether you think Woodward and Co are dumb enough to sit there and negotiate an improbable or impossible deal. The agent isn't going to mess around and waste his time. These people are moneymakers. These people are slick business people. They don't sit down with a football club and negotiate a deal that's never going to happen. No one does that. Not even stupid, dumb business people do it. No one does. So for me, I'm not personally buying into the story, but I respect the fact that someone's gone out there and reported on that. It really, really is because United need to pay the fee. That's always what Paul said. Yeah, Paul, see, this is the thing, right? Yeah, they do. But how you pay the fee needs to be negotiated. You're talking about a deal for Jadon Sancho, which is only a week or so older than Kai Havertz right now. However, Man United's conversations with Dortmund started 2 to 3 weeks after Chelsea started speaking to Kai Havertz. They started at about the same time that Liverpool started speaking to Bayern Munich. So there was a lot of rumours about Sancho for a long time, but go back and look at what the likes of Fabrizio said. There had been no conversations until the end of the Bundesliga and Premier League seasons, respectively, which didn't come until the end of July. So this still hasn't protruded as long as people think. The reason it feels longer is because, like I said, during the whole of lockdown, nothing changed, but every day the media were reporting that something there'd been a development, there'd been a snag, rare. And that's why we do these videos every day. It's not about trying to pretend that the situation has changed. It's delivering you the news and allowing you to formulate an opinion, because what I see happening on social, the people panicking every 5 minutes, it's on, it's off, it's on. My rhetoric personally has been the same the whole way through. I felt that personal terms and deals have been agreed or wouldn't be a problem, whichever piece of wording you want to use. That's semantics. I believe that Dortmund have always been willing to sell for the right price. I think Man United are willing to pay the right price. They just want it in a structure that's down to them. I think both are trying to win the PR battle because it's important to them for whatever reason. And I think the deal's going to be done. The point is, though, every day we are thrust with new news and headlines. And I think it's part of the reason we even exist in this capacity now at the Football Terrace, is to deliver those headlines to you and to allow you to talk about it, allow other people to express an opinion. Because when you're just reading what's out there, I think it formulates a very different point of view. You know, when I used to watch football as a kid, everybody's opinions at school primarily were either an echo chamber of what their dad thought or what they heard the commentators say. Legit. Even 5-6 years ago, when YouTube was around, what the commentators said was almost echoed by everybody in public. You know, and a famous example is what Gary Neville said about David Luiz. Gary Neville said he looks like a kid's controlling him with a PlayStation control pad. That's followed him around since then. That's one person's opinion. Since then, everybody else says, yeah, he plays like a kid. He's on a computer going, rah, because of one thing Gary Neville said. And that's the way these things work. But now with social media, there's an opportunity to formulate here and expand upon different opinions. If you sit there, you know, if you were sitting at home and my channel didn't exist, the United Stand didn't exist, Twitter, you know, by the way, if you've got a small Twitter following, it doesn't really work because no one sees what you say. And if you follow 30 people, if you follow 1,000 people and only you're followed by 5 and you tweet something, very few people see it. So what we do is we give you an actual voice to come on and speak about these deals in a bit more granular detail. That's why we report on these stories with such frequency. What's ever dominating the football headlines we talk about in relation to the top 6, it's as simple and it's as straightforward as that. If United are not going to sign Sancho, why would they waste time doing personal terms? Baking. I agree with you completely, bro. That would be my response to anybody today that's thinking the plug's going to be pulled. Remember, the deal may not happen, but the difference between the deal not going through and Man United just walking away at this point, I think that's a complete and utter exaggeration. I really do. The article, though, goes on to say that Woodward knows the clock is ticking before the transfer window closes on the 5th of October and now could turn to Juve's Douglas Costa Atletico Madrid ace João Felix, or even pursue a deal to sign Real Madrid outguard Gareth Bale. And even look at the people we're linked with. Aside from the Douglas Costa deal, you've got old stories with Gareth Bale. You then have the João Felix. I mean, João Felix, anybody really think that João Felix is going to leave 1 year into that big money move to Atletico? I doubt it. They would lose big money on him. I don't think they're going to do that. He says Felix is a strange claim. This article I'm reading actually says that Felix is a strange claim, as he normally plays as a number 10 rather than a winger, which is madness. And the other two are just old men and nowhere near the standard we need. Like, Gareth Bale is amazing when he's fit. I'm not going to deny that. And he could probably come and do bits for a couple of years at Man United. I have to be honest about that. The guy's an absolute phenom, but he can't stay fit. Douglas Costa is only marginally better now. Like, honestly, I'd rather give Dan James more game time and save the money. I really think it'd be a waste. I'll just give Dan James more game time. I don't care how much people dislike him. That feels like a dead deal to me. The more I think about it, the more I focus on it, the more that feels absolutely dead, in my opinion. Let's do some more of these comments here. It says here, Sancho to Man United will happen. I agree with you completely. Daniel Sweetman, one of our members, says if he's not moving, these people wouldn't have removed Dortmund player from his Twitter account. Thanks for sticking with the facts, Terry. Daniel, that's what we're here for, bro. We're here to deliver facts, but also just to, whatever the opinion is each day, it's to play devil's advocate with it. The story isn't the hook. It's your opinions as football fans that matter. It's why we're here, And do you know what's really funny? Half the people that give a stick on this platform are the same people that they have no, like these people that troll me on socials. They've got no followers. No one likes what they say. No one gives them any attention. Yet they've got a platform here where I would actually listen to their opinion. We actually give them an opportunity to express themselves. And what they do with it is abuse, because what it is that maybe I don't share the same level of opinion as them. The narcissism is real. But all you're really doing is damaging yourself in the cold light of day. Remember, today from 11:30, we're going to be live covering Fulham versus Arsenal. And then we're going to be doing a post-match reaction show. And then we're going to do a live watch-along for Liverpool versus Leeds. That will also be followed by a post-match reaction show. We are going to be covering, we're going to be lots of watch-alongs this year, covering the majority of the top 6 games. And there'll be post-game reaction shows, again, to the majority of these top 6 games. Really excited about the season beginning. Make sure all of you are following us live today at the Football Terrace. We're going to have Adam Charles on with us for the watch-along. We're going to have Gal on with us for the watch-along. And then we're going to have between 2 to 3 guests on every single watch-along moving forward. So it's not just going to be me sitting down doing it. So please make sure there's about 1,500 people watching right now. Make sure you're all tuning in for that watch-along today, supporting the Football Terrace. We really do need your help massively. Make sure you're also hitting the like button right now for me. Danny K here says Sancho should go to United over Chelsea, as Chelsea will flop and edge the Europa League, is what Danny K says. John Smith says Sancho should join West Ham since we're the best team. Go on, John Smith. Back in his team there, bruv. Quality. I like to see that. Ishan Patel here says, as a United fan, I can't forgive Woodward and the owners for what they have done in the past 7 years. But the past few signings have been positive change. And if they fail to get Sancho, it will again be a failure. I get where you're coming from with that. I would feel like it'd be a bit of a failure if we don't get him over the line now. I can completely and utterly understand that. But I have faith. I actually have faith, not so much in Woodward or Matt Judge. I have faith in what Ollie is doing. I have faith that there is such togetherness in that dressing room. It's the first summer. Think about this. It's the first summer Manchester United have had since the 13 summer of Moyes, where there have been no major rumours. And even that summer, Rooney was rumoured to be leaving because of what was said by Fergie at the end of his last campaign. There's been no major rumour of any Man United player wanting to leave, being sold, having problems with the manager, any infighting, any concerns. Inside a year, Ollie has resolved all those matters. And even if they do exist, these things are no longer public property. They are being handled behind the scenes, behind closed doors, in an impeccably professional way. That, for me, will resonate with the board. That will, for me, will resonate with the money makers and the decision makers and the money men. They will look at it as, wow, it's a plain sailing summer. If you look at Arsenal, they've got the issues with Guendouzi going on. Can we get Aubameyang over the line to re-sign or not? Man City, no real problems there, to be fair, but they lost Sane. Liverpool, actually a little bit of turmoil and a little bit of carnage going on behind the scenes there with, is Genie staying? Is Genie going? Can we land a player? Can we not? Do we have money? Do we not? Is Klopp happy with the level of spending of the money or not? A little bit of problems. Tottenham, actually pretty seamless this summer, if we're being absolutely honest, to Tottenham. Arsenal, we've already mentioned, as I say. Chelsea, impeccable. But from Man United's point of view, the first summer with no real noise, no real problems, no real issues, that shouldn't and cannot, in my opinion, go unnoticed. It really, really shouldn't. A comment here says, the Sancho deal was sucking the life out of many of us fans. It's been drama. But it hasn't, though, bruv. I know we do a lot of content on it on the channel, and that's because we want to try and keep people on an even keel. Nothing has nothing. 95% of these stories are just fabrication, or they're a reiteration of the same news. And that's the point here. Come here and go, you know what? We're not going to believe what the Daily Star have written today. We're not going to believe what TalkSport have just published. Half the stories about Sancho are Shaka Hislop gives an opinion in the ESPN studio, and then the newspaper writes a headline like what he says actually has any weight in the deal. Think about it. That's half of it, bruv. I have trust in, this is from, this one here says, I have trust in Ollie, but he needs to improve his in-game tactics. When it's not going well, he needs to change it quick. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's see what happens. As I say, the second half of the season, we certainly improved. Best form in the league. Only conceded one less goal than Liverpool, scored loads more in comparison. I think the new signings will elevate us to, I think by Christmas, that little rumor is going to disappear as well. When we're up near the top of the league, when we're playing good football, when we're winning the majority of games, it will change people's opinions in relation to that. I've got I'm not going to deny it. Man says it's 3:44 a.m. in DC. Bro, thank you very much for tuning in that late. I'm glad. 8:45 here. I'm going to do this stream. Leg day today in the gym. I'm going to chip to the gym. And then come home. Probably cry for about every time I do leg day. I work hard on my legs. Legs are, bro. If you go gym and you don't work legs, shame on you. Shame on you. I always think men that work out hard in the gym and don't do legs, I always think they look like a toffee apple. So yeah, work them legs. I've got to do that and then come home and then pure streams all day today. Premier League football is back. That's a big thing as well. It's back. Premier League football is back. So excited about it, really. Daniel here says, surely nobody is reporting ESPN football as facts. Bro, it's everywhere. The amount of times I delve into a headline, I think, oh, what's this? And I read it, and it's like Shaka Hislop has said, or Stevie Nichols has said, and it's their opinion. It's made a head. It's mad. It's mad. It's things like Man United could, Man United, it'll read something like Man United will drop Rashford when they sign Sancho. Think, oh, wow, where's this come from? Is it Henry Winter that's been told something? Is it Fabrizio that's been told something? No, it was an opinion from some D-level pundit. And yet he's made it to the back page of the newspaper. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. If Sancho had the same confidence similar to Kai Havertz, the deal would have happened. No, it's not as easy as that. You're talking about a deal that's sort of £20 million more expensive. You're talking about Leverkusen that operate very differently to that of Borussia Dortmund. The big thing for Borussia Dortmund is that they're seen as a selling club. And they're trying to change that image massively. So I wouldn't worry. Plus, Chelsea started negotiations for Timo Werner, for Kai Havertz 2 to 3 weeks before Man United did with Jadon Sancho. That's also important. If I close a business deal on the 1st of September and my colleague closes it on the 15th of September, some will say, well, he got it done. You got it done earlier than him. Yeah, but if I started my negotiations in March and he started his negotiations in April, mine took longer. Relativity, my friends. That's how it works. By the way, when we do the watch along later, I got such a funny video that Igal sent me from it. The first time Igal ever phoned the show, nearly 2 years ago. I can't wait to play it for you. I can't wait to play it. Terry, are you going to do watch-alongs for United Villa game? Yes, bruv. Yes, bruv. I will be. I will be. Do you know what I am gutted about, though, is that not all games are televised now. I loved it when all the games are televised. I thought it was amazing. Terry, why are United not linked to a proper striker? Because we have 2 at the club already, plus a third in Igalo. We're cool twisted, Bubba. We're cool twisted, Bubba. You know how these things are. You know how these things are. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this morning, thank you very, very much. As always, please do me a massive honor and smash that like button. Please become a member as well. It's really important to us right now. Click the join button. It's on your screen right now, whether you're watching on your laptop, iPhone, tablet. Click the join button. You can sign up for as little as 99p per month. 99p per month you can sign up for. There are all sorts of perks that you get, loyalty badges, customized emojis. The watch along second half are all going to be member chat only. Exclusive member videos for channel members and above. Shout outs and videos for gold members. Early access videos, and we've got some really interesting stuff in development as well. There's an actual TV style show that we're in the beginning stages of planning and producing as well, which I'm so excited about. Not quite a reality show, but in terms of something to do with myself. So yeah, really, really excited about that. Can't wait to tell you all more about that later on down the line. So please hit that join button for us right about now. Sign up and become an official member of the Football Terrace. Corona here thinks Arsenal are coming 12th. Wow. And what are your predictions for Arsenal's game to Arsenal-Liverpool game? Get your predictions in right now. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling in relation to that, please. Pro Gamer here says Bruno Fernandes for penalty golden boot. Listen, bro, I hope Bruno Fernandes scores 30 goals this season, all penalties, just to watch prats like you cry. Oh, them tears all taste good. Those tears all taste good. Yes, they will. Oh, yes, they will. Those tears will taste brilliant. Fulham 3-1, someone says here. Arsenal 2-0, Liverpool 3-1. Yeah, I agree with that. That's quite a good prediction. There we go. Terry is doing a great job. Keep it going. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the encouragement. It means a great deal to me. Thank you. Thank you. Aubameyang hat-trick is what Pro Gamer thinks today. Oggy Jack thinks 5-0 to Arsenal. Can you imagine? Terry, suddenly Havertz is 62 million and Sancho is 200 million. And now we are on Sancho for 2 years. Haters, I tell you. Yeah, Nabil, this is what happens. Man United will get everything will be made to look like the deal has been done badly. That's the whole point. But in fact, most clubs scout players. This is the interesting thing. We scout and track a player for 2 years, negotiate due diligently, and do a good deal. And that's seen as a awful business. The other clubs, we found a player inside a month and just bought him. And that's being presented and framed as good business, where I look at that more of a panic buy. How can you know if a player is going to be right for you after seeing them once or looking at them for a month? All players are looked at for 6, 12, 18 months. And Jadon Sancho has been on the radar of all top clubs for about 5 years. People don't realize how well touted this guy has been. So don't fall for the nonsense from rivals. Don't fall for the nonsense from the media. It's a £111 million deal. As inflation stands right now, that could change depending on the fluctuation in the market. United have done their due diligence. He is going to be a top player for Manchester United. He's going to kill and rule the Premier League. And rivals are just scared. So scared. So petrified. Comment here from Daniel says, people seem to think that United won't be winning the league this season. And I'm not saying this because I'm a United fan, but if we sign Sancho with Van der Beek and a defender, we can win the league. Go on, Danny boy. I love that confidence from you, my friend. I love that confidence. You keep that going. But everyone who's tuned in, thank you. 11:30, we are back live. So about 2.5 hours time for the Arsenal game. But until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.